This is the first time Marissa and I have gone north since going to San Francisco in September. Which is pretty crazy. I'm excited to get to the sea. I know we're gonna love it. That's kind of what made me want to go to Mexico in the first place, was to see Cortez. The fact that we did mainland first was just kind of a happy accident.
Our next destination, Isla Isabel, was about 80 nautical miles north from our last port of call in Banderas Bay. If we maintained a minimum speed of 5 knots, we would have the anchor down 16 hours later. The night brought a new kind of stillness. We may have been in Mexico, but we were bundled up in sweatshirts and long pants for the first time in months. Speaking of firsts, it was our first night passage since crossing the sea from Baja to mainland in February, and it was hard not to think back to that fateful night when our furler broke. But this passage was different. There was a sense of stability and control, yet the feeling of uncertainty lingered. Perhaps it was a foreshadowing of what was to come just a few days later.
We keep getting these bigger sets that come through in the swell, and Avocet becomes a submarine for a minute, so that's fun. Oh, and then the wind dies down a bit. It's just not consistent right now. It keeps clocking around. It's weird. Super weird.
At last, the tiny island came into view. With each nautical mile gained, more of the unique landscape revealed itself, and the iconic pinnacle rock marked the spot where we would anchor. Large frigate birds rode the thermals above us, watching as we found the best place to lay our hook, which was easier said than done.
So anchoring here is a little bit tight. There are 4 boats already here, but the depths range from 30 to 60 feet and can be quite rocky. Luckily, our friends on Milagros are leaving later today, so if we anchor between them and this boat right here, we should be okay. Right?
Should be. We set a trip line here because there's a lot of rocks underneath us. So there's some sandy patches. We kind of did the best we could when it comes to this many boats in the anchorage. A lot of the good spots already used. So I definitely felt the anchor bite into something. So hopefully it comes up without too much hassle. That is a trip line that's meant to take the anchor up if it's fouled on something, anything.
Feeling confident in our hook set, we made our way to shore to familiarize ourselves with this truly wild place.
So we made it on shore at Isla Isabel. It's a national park, and right now there's a bunch of frigates nesting. So we're seeing a lot of baby birds. They're definitely bigger than Cleo, and she's a big cat. I've never been this close to the frigates, and like I said, they're huge. So this is really, really cool. We're walking along the trails trying to be quiet. We're in a spot right now where there's no birds nesting, so we're not disturbing them. But we have a couple more trails to check out around the island, and yeah, so far it reminds us a lot of Santa Cruz Island.
Declared a national park in 1980, this remote island is home to diverse seabird colonies and marine life, making it a vital site for conservation and scientific research. Once explored by naturalists like William Beebe and Jacques Cousteau, Isla Isabel remains uninhabited and protected, offering a unique glimpse into untouched nature. Well, mostly untouched. On shore, you will find a fishing outpost. With that said, keep your eyes peeled for hooks, metal traps, and other debris hidden in the sand as you walk. We decided to hike the bisection trail that goes straight through the island to where our boat was anchored.
It's so wild to be able to walk up to these massive birds, and they're not afraid of you, and they don't attack you.
Full of life, with frigate birds soaring above and boobies nesting on the ground, we quickly learned why this island is regarded as the Galapagos of Mexico.
I have a feeling I'm gonna get pooped on, so I'm gonna go ahead. A little poop protection.
This was a volcano at one point. This is crazy. Now it's a very mosquito-infested, poop-infested lake.
I'd go as far as to call it a swamp, but you know,
It's actually not that bad. Like, the mosquitoes are not bad right now.
Because of all the birds. Since these birds are not afraid of people, you can get really close to them. Not that you try to, but they nest literally on the trail. So it's kind of inevitable to cross paths with them. And they're so big and so scary that I'm very tense. They can sense fear. Chris is like, what happens if they attack you? I'm like, I'm gonna punch a frigate. It would not end well for me. I already know that. Just kidding. Don't hit birds. Don't touch nature. But again, if they attacked us, I don't know what I would do. I just really hope we don't have to find out.
It's definitely an island you want to look up and keep your mouth closed. No, none of that. Keep your mouth closed. Boobies everywhere.
On the other side of the island, we had the opportunity to chat with one of the researchers about the studies they are conducting.
Hello, my name is Emiliano. I'm a biologist. We've been staying here in the island for 2 months. We're conducting a study on the bluefin boobies about their ecology and their behavior. We need to count the nest, make sure that all the hatchlings are doing okay, and mark them with some metal rings and keep track of their behavior, movement, reproduction, and everything around the island. So every red thing you see around the island, it's one of the nests we are taking care of and looking for. Right now, there are about 300-400 only in this beach and to the back to the forest. And in the other coast, there is about another 200. So they are really territorial birds. They get really aggressive when it's about their hatchlings. So yeah, try to stay on the rocks, walk around the nest. You can, like at this distance, there is no problem. But once you get really close, they start getting all freaked out, stressed out, so and their behavior starts changing. So just leave them be.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Legs, anyone?
I think like the frigates and the boobies are gonna get along.
Look at this little guy. He's not afraid of anything.
Nothing is here.
Nothing's afraid of anything here.
Staying hydrated.
Drink your water, kids.
Is it warm now?
It's so hot outside, oh my gosh. I'm glad I'm wearing linen. Surprisingly, haven't got shit on yet, so that's a win.
Yeah, thanks for jinxing it. My brother visited some 10 years ago. Not only did Prism stay in the South Bay, they anchored here, they also went and hiked around this whole spot a lot more. And like behind me, they went up on top of this rock, and now there's probably 300 boobies on that rock, so I don't feel like it's right to go invade their privacy. So we're just gonna hang out right here. The swell is getting bigger, definitely. It's starting to wrap in pretty hard from the south side, so I think we're gonna call it a day, get off the island and go back to the boat.
What happened to push hard?
The island is encircled by a vibrant marine sanctuary, home to colorful fish, sea turtles, dolphins, and whale sharks during fall and winter. The 11 hectares of coral and rocky reefs surrounding the island serve as a vital nursery and oxygen generator, supporting diverse marine life. However, this ecosystem is highly vulnerable to temperature changes and overfishing. Global warming has tragically led to the loss of 80% of the coral in just 5 years. There are over 300 fish species, including the barber butterfly fish and the protected polite angelfish that inhabit these waters. After a full day of exploring what was beneath our keel, we settled in for the night with plans to continue north in the morning. But things don't always go our way.
Chris is bringing the hook up. We have the engine on just in case. We can totally sail off anchor right now, but we are getting pretty close to the rocks, so better to have the engine on for quick maneuvering action. This is empty, don't worry. It's too early for that.
All right, just like that, we are out of Isla Isabel. Next anchorage will be in the Sea of Cortez.
Or so we thought.
We were motoring along, leaving Isabella. We're about an hour in, and all of a sudden, Marissa and I heard the engine started knocking really badly, and we lost oil pressure. So went down there, threw it in neutral, still knocking. Take it out of gear. here.
It's in neutral.
And seems like either we threw a rod or something happened, because we went to start it again after checking the oil for the millionth time and verifying that there was oil in there. And then when Marissa went to hit the starter, it locked, the engine just locked up immediately and blew out our burnout fuse on the starter motor. I'm ready, go. Stop, try it again.
Ready?
Yep.
Nothing.
I think our engine just blew up.
What?
I think our engine just blew up. No joke. So it overloaded the starter, and now I don't know if it's just hydro-locked or what the f happened to it, but it's not good. So I don't know. I'm gonna go in there right now and pop off the valve cover and look at the push rods, see if they're visible still, and try to turn over the engine by hand. I am so fed up with dealing with this Perkins, it's not even funny. So we're done. After this moment, I am putting a new engine in this boat, even if it's fixable. I'm done with it. Well, one of the biggest things that I've been scared about when cruising has finally happened. Total engine loss. Not a fun thing to think about, really not a fun thing to experience, but we are currently going through that right now.